Hey guys, welcome back to another exhilarating episode of Three Shots Podcast. Today, our stickman EZ, aka Come to Me, aka Find My Feet on Finder38.com, is going to be in the hot seat. So we'll be drilling him about them calves, them bunions, them toenails, you know, all the fun jazz. Little fun guy. Who knows? Who knows? Make sure you like and subscribe where those buttons are. Hit the bell. You know, get your bell rung. Tickle the bell. And find us on every platform pretty much. Instagram, YouTube, Amazon, Spotify, whatever Joe just rambled off. It's all Three Shots Podcast. And if you need to reach out via email, it's 3shotspodcast20gmail.com. Also, leave a comment. Let's talk about how Joe sucks. Let's talk about how he loves Borderlands, all that fun jazz. So, yeah, we're back up on there, and let's get after it, huh? Nice.
What? Say what? Go.
Yeah, dance for me, bitch. Dance for me, bitch. Dance. I said dance.
Toapalooza in here right now.
Well, I can already say we didn't make it 7 minutes again.
We didn't even make it through the intro song.
No.
It's not even a cuss word.
Not?
Female dog is definitely
Yeah.
a cuss word.
Is it?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Go call a female then and let's see what happens.
Go have your kid say that at school and see if he gets in trouble for saying a
Oh
cuss
my
word.
God. Words. Like you can't even use the R word anymore in chemistry. Hey, can you R word that reaction for me? It's going a
You
little
just said
fast.
the R word. Reaction.
Oh, no. I meant slow it down. Slow it down.
It's redundant.
Look, retard, can you retard the reaction? Oh, yeah, it's not making it. That one's going to get us banned for sure, not bitch.
You're going to be a shadow banned for that,
Yeah.
dude. You can't be saying that, dude.
Well, you can. You just...
Yeah, I got to be. Yeah, I think you guys are right because last episode I was hashtagging conspiracy and flat Earth. YouTube don't let you hashtag that anymore. They're done. They're tired of all the stupid fucks. They're like, nah, you're not doing it anymore. You can't hashtag. I was like, so I had a hashtag flat and then hashtag Earth.
Break it up, dude.
Yeah,
Break it
I
up.
got you. Loophole,
The
baby.
loophole. He got it, dude.
Coming back.
How long till Elon actually buys YouTube? So we
That
can get
just
after it
means
again?
more that the Earth is flat, and they don't want you to find out. YouTube silencing
Dude,
everybody.
where do you think all those old ships went, dude? They just fell right off, dude. They're just... It's like in those video games when you get caught in the ethers, dude. It's just
Yeah.
like just shadow, just hanging
skipping.
there. Just
Yeah.
skipping.
Render!
Yeah, dude.
Speaking of that, I got a problem with YouTube right now. Where you at, YouTubes?
Uh-oh.
I am sick of these goddamn ads, okay? I can't get 30 seconds into
You
a
gotta go
podcast.
premium, baby.
Well, here's the thing. I'm about ready to quit you, okay? I'm about ready to be
Where are you
done
gonna
with
go?
you.
Where are you gonna go?
Nowhere. I'm
This
going to
is
end up having
YouTube.
to pay for premium. And I'm
This is
gonna be pissed.
YouTube. This is YouTube.
I don't want to pay!
Where you
I
going?
pay enough! Pay enough, okay?
You know
Everything-
what's worse than that though is like trying to watch sports. Like how do you watch sports nowadays without cable? Like how do you watch baseball without buying baseball package?
You can't.
How do you watch football without watching? And then on football is even the worst. It's got to be the worst, right? You got to buy the Sunday package, and you only get the Sunday games. Well, what about Monday and Thursday? Well, fuck you.
And they got some
Monday.
Friday games now, too. They sprinkle the Friday in
There's
there.
a little Friday.
Dude, I'm so deep in that. I'm buying European networks just so I can watch the out of country
Yeah,
games.
really,
you know?
really, dude, that is the best way to do it is to buy the NFL package Europe because it's like $150, and then all you have to do is have your the VPN.
Right.
That's what we did when we were stationed over there. I was like, this is the greatest thing ever.
They
dude.
just sound like
and it's just got all the games on it.
It's like I'm learning Spanish at the same time.
If that's how you just spoke in Spanish, I don't think you learned shit.
Yeah, you failed.
I was trying to do a mixture of Greece and Spanish, or Greek and Spanish. So
Greece and Spanish. Cook me up something in the back, Javier. Like, come on.
they both wrap stuff in tortillas, so we're good. Euro,
Tortillas. Ask
taco.
Tina.
That's not a bad idea because they are trying to market to other countries. So just buy their platform or it's cheaper. That's not a bad idea. I should do that. because I mute it anyway. Like,
I mean, if old Goodsy Ellie's going to have his way, we're going to have a team in Germany. We're going to have a team in London.
Oh, he's trying to compete.
We're going to
with-
have a team in Mexico.
He's trying to compete with basketball. I think that's why we're having more games a week.
Why are they trying to? Basketball's in the crapper. Nobody watches the NBA, dude. It's
Well,
garbage.
I think he's trying to go global, which ironically, the only sport that I know that's global besides basketball is baseball, which is
Well,
kind of hilarious.
Soccer.
But football is like,
Dare you say American football into that?
Well, American football. I mean, you know that because that's what people around the world call football. They call it American football because everybody else calls soccer football.
yeah.
All over the world, they call it football. It's like that's way more popular than American football around the world.
Oh yeah,
Just
Hands down.
yeah.
Like
Just
I mean,
a-
look at the contracts those guys sign.
well, I
The
think
Ronaldos, those guys. There's no American football.
Well, look
player.
at how they look at how they
I
sponsor
think,
though.
I think I
mean,
can
they
solve
get
this problem.
whoever they want, and they just put it on their jersey. And like, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's not
I
like
think
Nike jerseys. You know,
I think I might be able to solve this problem. Like, just have college football at a different time. Like, have the NFL season September through January or January.
February technically, but yeah.
And then after that, then you run the NFL fucking college platform, and then everybody watches NFL college football. Why not? Most of the NFL or college domes they're not in a dome. They're in a an open thing. So like have them play in the winter or in the summertime where there's no delays and any of that.
It's just about school though. Like so, realistically, if you were
they're not going to class.
if you were gonna do something like that, then you start the college football season in February, right? They start like their spring training camps, and then games start in March. So then it's like March, April, May, and then your bowl games, all that stuff are in June.
Yeah, exactly. Why not?
And then really all we have is
Then we have to wait July.
and then
we got August.
Well, now
Problem solved.
enter
NFL,
XFL and enter the National Football League or whatever that plays around here, and then plays Canada and China
Well,
and
that's-
Japan.
The Rock has that league that they got started, but it's just not great.
Well,
the quality of it, the college football teams are better.
Well, it's because they're all ex-college players. I mean, it's like that in between of
Yeah, but it's like, I see like I'm watching like, the Alabamas, the Georgias, the Ohio States. They would dominate those teams.
well, as a team, absolutely,
Yes.
because they've been fundamentally groomed over hundreds of years to play
I don't
this
know.
way.
Like, did you guys see like the new? You probably did. Like the new college bracket that came out, and I think it's because of this NIL thing. Like people, like talent doesn't have to go to these schools to get drafted anymore. They're like, I can just get paid to play. But Boise State was in the running. Like Nebraska. Like what was the other one? Like that shouldn't have been. Like they were like when I looked at the thing, like Alabama was ranked like what 12th, 7th. Like
Yeah,
what
they were
is going
12th or
on?
13th, yeah.
So there was Georgia, obviously, and they lost to Notre Dame, and then Notre Dame lost to the Buckeyes. Right, the Buckeyes won the whole thing, but Boise State played the Buckeyes in like the Final Four. Let's say, I was like, wow, I think that's what happens when you start paying players.
Yeah, but
where
Boise State doesn't have the money to pay.
they will
nearly
eventually.
Like,
They will now. Once Genty does, like once Genty pops off, everybody's gonna want to go. Everybody knows Boise State.
I think he was a once in a opportunity kind of deal.
I don't
look
think so.
Look
I
at the
think-
players Boise State's had over the last 20
Look
years.
at look at this. Look at Washington. That I didn't even know not Washington State, but the Huskies were in the Natty the year before, and
Yeah.
I didn't know Rome Aduz. Sorry,
Adudze?
came from there, and I didn't know Penix was their quarterback. I was like, I would have never thought in a million years that you would have a Washington Husky team in the national championship ever in my life. It's always the SEC teams and the Clemson's. I forget what Clemson plays in.
Oh, not the ACC.
Where Georgia is Georgia in the SEC or
Georgia's SEC, Clemson's ACC, but the ACC is super weak now.
But I
They're
feel
not-
like
they're not good.
if you can, like if you're 18 years old and back in the day and you realize like I got to go to Alabama to make the NFL and that was your goal because you want to go to the NFL to like get paid, you want to play the sport that you love to get paid. But now with the NIL shit, you can go to any school you want and get paid.
I think
I'm gonna
there's-
stay home and go to that, and like it's gonna be really hard. I think it's gonna be real hard to draft talent now.
There's two different thoughts to that, though. There's the person that you're talking about being, I just want to get paid to play, and I don't care about the team aspect or working together and winning a natty. When you're also on the flip coin of that, you have that person who goes, I would rather go and not get paid or as much to get my name out there to get the natty. Like, you're going to see both sides of it. The only difference is now everyone's making money.
Yeah.
So
I think
how
the
far
other
down
team-
the rabbit hole do
was
you
it
want to go?
Nebraska? It was some weird team that was in there that shouldn't have been.
Oh,
I
it
remember.
was.
Like, I think
It
it was
wasn't Nebraska. It was. Oh God, who was it? Arizona State was in there.
Yeah, it's like, who heard of them? But it's like, I think that's my theory on it. It's like,
Again, that's another running back that's
Cam Scatterbo.
yeah,
He's good, dude.
Scatterbo.
I think
yeah.
he's gonna be a sleeper in this year's draft, I think.
Yeah. This is a really good running back class.
Yeah.
There's a really good running back class. The problem with college sports in general right now, overall, like the broad spectrum with NIL, is the transfer portal. They need to figure this out because, like, here you are in the middle of March Madness, and guys are like, "Oh, I'm in the portal now." You're like, "Dude, you're literally playing. Your team is still in the tournament right now, and you're hitting the transfer portal. Like, okay, cool. Like, the transfer portal should open like 1 month after your championship. Like, okay, your season's over, your sport is done. 1 month after it, you get 1 month. Cool, boom, that's it. Like, don't be entering the transfer portal when the season's still going, right? Like, here's your, it's like, dude, it's
Coaches can do it.
yeah, dude. Well, they can.
I know.
Can and they can't, right? Like, it's.
Well, here's the thing: is I'm not necessarily opposed to the NIL. What I'm opposed to is, like you're saying, actually going back and figuring out a timeline of when you can enter the transfer portal. And then also they need to figure out a way to structure the money that they're paying these athletes where it's not just a money grab the whole time. Like, cool, I don't have the answer for this, but it's like, we're going to pay you $2 million to come play for us.
Well,
it's like, sure, but then structure it so maybe it's, for you to get this money, you have to graduate.
You have to finish.
Yeah.
You have to.
Or finish the year in the sport.
It's a contract,
Oh,
right?
they don't do that? That's not a contract?
I don't know. So some of them are private deals with like different
Boomers
companies.
or-
So it really depends on how they're doing it. But the other issue with that, like this whole thing is that you should not be able to enter the transfer portal whenever you want and as many times as you want. When you're in the NFL or you're in the NBA, you're in the MLB, you don't get to just go to another team because
Right.
you want to. You're on a contract with this team and you're there until either you Megatron and you retire because they won't let you leave,
Or Sanders.
Or-
Good job, Lions.
or they're ready to part ways with you and they let you go. So these college athletes are like, "Oh, I'm leaving. See ya." Like, what? Like,
The only knowledge I have about this NIL stuff is when I made a white quarterback, CB. I was playing defense as a white CB. I was like, I'm gonna go play for Boise or something as a white CB, and then, dude, I was fucking murking it. Like, I just all I want to do is max speed and like Hawkeye basically. So I was intercepting and I avoided all the tackle stuff. But I was like,
Typical Orgoy.
yeah.
It's like, I'm just going to play the ball. And after like my, I put it on easy, like just to try it out. Like after my first or second game, I started getting like sponsorships. So is that what it's like? It's like this guy, like local pizza Roni wants to sponsor you.
So, and
like,
you'll get, and it depends on
so
how
like I can
big
make
of a
money
star
off
you
them.
are.
Okay.
So-
And the other thing you can do as you're my player in this thing is you can select how much NIL you want. So it's even in the game now.
Yeah.
Like it's like I was like, and that's how like when you play like the
I mean, how long till these guys are now getting paid from the video game itself? And doubling down on the NIL.
so like if we all played college football together and we were doing our own organization, there are recruits out there that are solely based on I want to make money on NIL, and you have to like if you want those recruits, you have to go that route. It's like a skill tree you have to go down. It's like, dude, it's even in the video games now.
You're
like,
also going to get guys. So this is the kind of another way that it's changed the college football landscape is you're going to get guys that stay in college because they're making more money in college than they will in the NFL. Like, it's like, okay.
the term fifth-year senior now is like,
Yeah,
oh,
dude,
it's like,
Yeah,
all
buddy.
right.
I mean, like, look at like a Shedeur Sanders, an Arch Manning.
I get you.
Right? Like these dudes they're $4 or $5 million a year in NIL endorsement deals. And they're like, I'm staying, right? Like what Arch Manning's going to be, a junior this year?
Did you see what just happened? And I don't know if it was an April Fool's joke or not, but it said that he's entering the portal to go Ole Miss.
That'd be hilarious.
I
Again,
didn't hear
it
that.
said it was
but-
from 2 days ago, so I don't
But-
know if it was like a post on a, you know what I mean? But it was ESPN.
Well, I saw something that he might be heading over to North Carolina to play with old Belichicky.
Not a bad move.
But regardless, I mean, here he is. This dude probably could have hit the transfer portal, in his first season and gone somewhere and been a starter. He stayed in the Texas program.
But he wasn't even the starter for Texas.
No,
though.
he wasn't. But he stayed in the program because I think he could see the value in that program. And he's making $5 million a year.
Yeah, and then
he's a backup.
Well, why would you leave now? Like if that thing's true, I guess I could look it up. I am the stickman.
But the greatest
But,
Manning was it wasn't Peyton, it was Eli.
No,
Eli was the greatest Manning by far.
not even close.
He beat the Patriots twice, bro.
Those were his defense beat the
Like who
Patriots twice.
do you want in the playoffs? Eli Manning or fucking Peyton?
Peyton.
Okay, I'm going with Eli.
I'm not
all
going with
day.
Eli because the only reason Eli was successful in the playoffs is because his defense was ridiculous.
He wasn't. No, they kind of like were they? I guess maybe they were.
I think the year he won the Super Bowl, they were 9-8.
I think his.
I think they made
they
it.
pulled the Packers and
Yeah,
they snuck
dude,
in there.
9-8.
I think Eli's stats in the playoffs go up though. It's like something ridiculous where
Yeah,
like
I mean,
Eli
he
zones
has-
in,
he
and
has
I'll give
decent-
you like the fucking helmet catch that we lost to, and I don't know how we lost to him.
Is that Victor Cruz?
Not me anymore,
Was
but
that
I meant like
OBJ?
the Patriots.
No, it was one of those guys.
it was Victor. He didn't play with OBJ. I don't think.
Eli?
No,
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, you're right. But I don't think OBJ was in the
But
Super Bowl.
his stats were, they were okay in the playoffs, but Peyton Manning was he's a whole nother
I still
level.
think Peyton Manning has like, so if you played Madden, like they give you a clutch
And all of
factor.
his stats come from movies or video games.
They give
by the
you
way.
they give you a clutch factor. I think Eli's clutch factor would be like if you're down by like 4 and need to score, Eli Manning's clutch factor would be max where you can't miss, where Peyton's would be like 0. Like cuz I don't think like Peyton can perform under pressure, and he's showed that.
He's got the
multiple
head
times.
for it.
He's just like a system needs a team and he can run it kind of team. But Eli is like this wild card that you don't know, and then all of a sudden like, it's like the little brother, like the pressure's
He was
on,
like a
let's go.
gunslinger like Brett Favre was. He just
But
never had
like-
the talent around him.
But like their old man, was he good? I don't know.
Arch Manning, he was okay.
What makes you think like the other Manning's gonna be good
the
just
bro-
because he has the last name?
So Arch Manning, the college football player, his dad was a stud.
Okay.
His Cooper, he was probably the best athlete out of all of them, but he had some medical
Yeah.
condition. He went to Ole Miss, and as a freshman, like in training camp, he had some medical emergency, and he could never play football again. But he was literally the best athlete out of all of
Well,
them.
he was a bomb receiver, right?
Yeah, he was Peyton's target. I think Peyton was a sophomore or a junior, and he was a senior, and he threw him touchdowns like a wild man. So he was the only one of them that wasn't a quarterback.
Weird.
He was a wide receiver, and apparently he was real good.
Yeah, both brothers say that he's a way better athlete than the two of them, and should have been way better in the pros and all that. Had a bit way better college and all that shit. But
Archie was a decent quarterback. I mean, he was nothing super flashy. Did he win a Super Bowl or go to a Super Bowl?
I don't know.
He was with New Orleans back in like the 70s, maybe.
it's funny you bring up New
80s?
Orleans. I just saw something the other day that said that New Orleans quarterback Breeze.
Yeah.
They compared him to the GOAT, the Braids, and they kind of like drew it out a little bit. Where if Breeze would have played a little bit more, he would have
Whoa.
he would have beaten Tom
The
Brady.
GOAT's Dan Marino, not Tom Brady.
Not according to you.
No, I've always said Tom.
Stop lying,
No, I've honestly been on the podcast.
dude. I think that
saying-
shirt's restricting the blood flow to your head.
It's the GOAT is Dan Marino by far.
I don't think,
for quarterback position.
no, I don't think so.
That's fair. Everybody has their.
I
opinion.
don't think so. Like in order to be considered in the GOAT category, you have to win a championship.
I mean, he's been there twice, and that's the only thing. That's the only thing that hinders him.
So if you're saying
But
that, then
what
like
I-
look
what-
at Jim Kelly. He went 4 times in a row.
But
True.
what I describe as the GOAT is like you have to change like the game, how it's played, and nobody was doing what Dan Marino did until Dan Marino came in, and he changed defense, he changed offense, he just changed the way of the game, and with the game, and if you look at Dan Marino's offense, like who was he thrown to? His two like safeties were white still.
Roy
Like
Finkel?
he didn't have fucking nobody playing with.
Finkel
And he
is
went to
Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel.
He went to the Super Bowl twice. Yeah, and made a movie. Like he was the greatest quarterback because he did the up and out shit. Everybody else was still throwing like, like there
Great
was
quarterback. Don't get me wrong. Great quarterback, but not the GOAT. I'm not.
He's the reason why the cornerback's the most highly paid position. Like, because everybody's trying to run a 4-4 right now so they can get downfield and bomb it. And you couldn't bomb it back in the day. Like, anybody could cover it because you couldn't throw 40 yards in 2 seconds.
I just think the game has changed over the years, but I definitely wouldn't say he's the GOAT. Great quarterback.
I get that with
Great
with
quarterback.
the championships. And even and it's hard to argue with Michael Jordan. Like, if you take away all of Michael Jordan's accolades, like, let's say he lost every finals he was in, went 0-6. He still changed the game where like
he changed the game, but we don't
even have like positions anymore. Like there's no centers. There's like no big men anymore. We don't play that fucking pass it to the center, lay it up kind of ball.
There's no triangle offense.
Like, and now look at Steph Curry. Like he's the new GOAT. Like everybody's shooting. Like we need a bigger fucking. We need like a bigger fucking court because Steph Curry's shooting from anywhere he wants. And big men trained to shoot threes. Like if you went to high school, like when you were in high school. If you were the tall guy, you played center.
Yeah.
Like, that's a stupid mentality because as a coach and, like, you have potential, you should make the tall guy play point guard because, like, you're never going to be as tall as, like, 6'6".
Well, high school 6'4" is a generic small forward in the pros.
Learn to shoot
Yeah, you're a
threes.
point guard at 6'4".
Yeah. Imagine if Shaq had a 70% three-point percentage.
Well, that's like Joker.
He'd be a fucking yeah, exactly.
Joker. He's like that.
Yeah. It's like that's why the game's
Or
changed
Wemby.
because Steph Curry, and I don't know if because people don't play defense. I don't watch
Well,
the game anymore. But like he stretched the floor.
I
more.
wouldn't say I wouldn't credit Steph Curry with stretching the floor. You had guys before him. You had Reggie
Kobe.
Miller. You had the Reggie Millers, the Ray Allens. You had those guys that stretched the floor.
Exactly.
But Steph Curry came in and like that dude. He's a baller.
He just didn't miss.
I'm not a fan.
He made it cool.
I'm not a fan, but he's a great shooter. Like he's probably the best shooter in NBA history.
Yeah,
like
the cleanest.
Hands down. Like
so that's how I define the GOAT. Like if you can physically change the way, like whether it's rules, like you can't do this anymore because you're banned, or like NFL with Marino, like you have to draft faster people on defense because now people are learning how to throw it faster. Or like now we have to play a different type of defense because people can make it from 45 feet instead of 35 feet.
But that's the thing with the schemes, though. The schemes
Like,
always come back
that's
around.
a GOAT.
You know what I mean?
But
It's always
running backs are coming back.
Yeah.
They were dead for 5 or 6 years, and now here
you want to
they
go
are.
fly offense
Yeah.
and push the field, okay, and then you come back to the powerhouse, the Alabamas, if you will,
Yeah.
and then they beat the fucking piss out of everybody.
Yep.
And then they get big, bulky, and strong, and then someone comes in because now they're the small, fast team, so it's beating everybody. Everyone changes to that.
It's just they're always trying to get a leg up on the competition, and so they just recycle schemes, and then they input new wrinkles into schemes, and then that's just kind of how it happens. But I think if you are going to consider a GOAT in any sport,
they have to win.
You have to have the stats and the accolades. You have to have the stats, but you also have to have at least a championship, and you have to do it over a broad period of time.
I'll give you that.
You know, because like you look at like a guy like a Gale Sayers, right? The dude in a 5-year period, I don't think any running back in the NFL ever had a 5-year run like him.
Look at Barry Sanders,
and that was it, right? But you look at like a Tom Brady, that dude in 3 decades. His stats were unbelievable, right? 20s, 30s, and 40s. And you look, and when they break it down, you're like, Jesus, dude. As a 40-year-old, he had better stats than he did as a 20-year-old. And then in his 30s, you're like, Jesus Christ, this guy is, I mean, there's no better. And then you look at like a Michael Jordan, right? Like the dude's stats are insane. And he was extremely well-rounded. He had Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, scoring titles, 6-0 in the finals. Like, you cannot beat that. Like, everybody, oh, LeBron James. Cool. LeBron has never been able to do it by himself. He's always had, like, super teams, right? And people argue, oh, Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman. Well, you know, like, Dennis Rodman was a rebounding machine, but he wasn't there for all of them. Right? Scottie Pippen was there, and he extremely, like, Scottie Pippen is one of the best role-playing players ever in history. Like the dude was a stud. But you look at like when those guys, got older, they still performed. But you look at LeBron James, the dude's been to 10 finals, and he's lost like 6 of them.
Yeah.
I think he's won 4. So you're like, okay, cool. And I love like.
Well, it's 4 with 3 different teams too.
Yeah,
right?
4 with 3. Yeah, Lakers, Heat, and Cavs.
Cleveland. Yeah.
So he's done that, but he's lost 6 finals, and a couple of them I think he got swept. I think the Spurs swept him in his first one, 0-4. But so great player. And you could argue that he's a GOAT because he changed the game, right? Like nobody played the game like that did.
He did.
But he's just
the thing with basketball though is like you're playing both ends of the floor.
And
so,
he
like,
does not.
But
he does not play defense. That dude is so like he'll come back and block a shot if he has to.
LeBron or
yeah.
Okay, like so what I was saying with Jordan, the other thing that I'll give Jordan credit for is he took a dying cocaine-filled drug addict league and made it to what it was now. Like not even Bird Magic can make it $1 million league. And now because of Jordan, it's like a multi-billion-dollar league.
Oh yeah, I mean,
everybody wants to be like that because nobody's 7'7". Everybody's about that 6'3", 6'4", and now you can win championships based off that. So everybody's trying to scheme to that scale. And like he kind of ruined the game in a sense because nobody has his drive and determination. Now it's just a bunch of nobody plays defense type bullshit.
Yeah, it's
kind of
crazy.
Thing.
I like the 80s and 90s
but with
basketball.
football, football, like I think like it's hard to say like with football because like Dan Marino wasn't playing defense. Like it's like you can't draft somebody in football. Like, and that's why I hate the NFL draft. I think it needs to be different, but because you can't draft somebody in football to change your league around. You can't tank in football and be like, oh, we're going to come back winning next year.
Yeah, no.
Like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, you
it's
can't
the hardest
tank and
league
do that.
to
Yeah.
do. It's the hardest league to do, and that's the hardest position to fill. Like, but what I realized in our last episode we left off on is like you being upset about what the Bears drafted, and so I was curious, like, what your opinion was on that. But I also
straight into rubbing salt, huh?
What I was
straight into.
I mean,
what I realized is like as an organization, I was like, I understand why they did it now because the Bears had like a top 5 defense, and they gave your boy some artillery to throw to, like some good guys. You got some good wide receivers. But I feel like you should not. My mindset is like you should not draft a rookie quarterback unless you have a top 5 defense. And I can understand that because, like, your defense will give your boy more time to make mistakes and learn the system because he has something to fall back onto. But how do you feel over the season? How did he do? How did Caleb do in your mind? Did he surprise you or did he be like, eh?
I think he underwhelmed me.
Underwhelmed?
I was looking for more, and, they got all these weapons, they got all this stuff, but I would challenge a little bit what you said about having a top 5 defense. I don't give a shit
top
about
10 maybe.
I don't give a shit about the defense. If you don't have a good offensive line, do not draft a top QB.
So you guys didn't have one?
No, he got sacked 68 fucking times last year.
Was that because of him trying to make the play extend more? Or?
I don't. Some of it was being a rookie, but a lot of it was just a trash offensive line.
Even if you cut that in half, because half of it was because he was a rookie, that's still 30 times.
34 sacks. Like, you're getting sacked 34 times. That's a shitload.
That's a lot for you. But D Swift went off for majority. Like,
he was okay.
So your line couldn't have been, unless he was catching shit out like screen passes.
Yeah, dude. Like, so I wasn't like, oh yeah, this guy's gonna be it. I will say this year, with the offensive line changes that we made, we got Joe Tooney from the Chiefs, all pro, like stud. We got Dahlman, the center from the Falcons, absolute stud. And then we got, I don't know how the hell to say his name, but he's from the Rams.
Yeah.
So we got a center and 2 all-pro guards, like absolute studs. And our tackles were actually pretty good. So we went from having one of the top, the lowest 5 offensive lines. We probably have a top 5 or top 7 offensive line now. So I was listening to Colin Cowherd the other day, and
So what you're saying is get KW now in D Swift.
Yeah, and so, like he said it, and I agree with it. In 4 games, having a absolute awesome offensive line now, and having Ben Johnson, an offensive-minded guy, if Caleb Williams, he's got 4 games.
That's fair.
If he doesn't, and that's what Colin Cowherd said, he's like, you will know in 4 games whether the Bears made the right choice or whether they made the wrong one.
Okay.
He's like, last year he was a rookie. He had no offensive line. You don't expect rookies to do very well. He had a decent season stat-wise. Like, if you look at his stats, they weren't bad. He actually had the best stats out of any NFC North quarterback
well,
against NFC North. Mm-hmm. Like, when they broke it down, like NFC North quarterbacks versus the division, his stats were the best.
Well, you got to think, though, that's a hard run, too, because you got the Vikings, the Lions, the Packers.
And so,
you know what I mean?
What about this? So, like, I was thinking about this. Like, what if the NFL grouped the line as a whole? So, say, like, you wanted to trade your first-round pick for an offensive line, you get that whole line. And they get and they transition, they get your whole line. So, like, say the Bears, like, you wanted the Lions line for your first pick, you'd be like, here's our first pick, you get our line, I want your line.
They could do that.
Instead of doing one line, because, like, how much
doesn't fix the holes, though. You know what I mean? If you're trying to get rid of the bad player, and then all the good ones have to go with them.
No, like, the whole line's, like, just, I feel like you should just group the non-explosive, I hate to say it because I'm not a lineman, and I feel like they get undervalued all the time, but I feel like just group them as a whole. Like, they're one pick.
Left tackles are the second
line.
highest paid players in the NFL.
I understand that because they're supposed to protect the most highly paid person, and because he's right-handed. But what about Tua, who's left-handed? And
look at him.
He's been knocked out. That right tackle. You don't pay me, bitch. I ain't protecting shit. But I would feel like for the draft, like, just group the lines. So, like, if you have a first-round pick,
yeah, but
I want your line. You get my first-round pick, and, like,
you could do that. I mean, teams could trade that way, but no one will ever do it because that's too much.
Because they built and they put time.
One player is not worth a whole offensive line.
But I feel like the lines. I feel like a line matters more. Like, look at Ezekiel Elliott when he came out his rookie season.
Oh yeah, Dallas Cowboys have had one of the best offensive lines.
Exactly.
All the time.
Yeah. Oh, now was it him or was it the line?
It was line.
I mean, it's a combination. You can use that same argument.
And then when the line went down,
off.
like, you have a bigger risk in your line getting hurt more than you do because your running back can run in who's 220 pounds, can take out a knee of your lineman, and he's out. There goes your line. It's a bigger risk to draft linemen than a running back, I would think.
No,
I mean, just package them. Like, you get the whole line for our line.
Yeah, but not all linemen are interchangeable, and they don't all mesh well with each other, right?
Except the center. Well, how about we exclude the center? How about that? I feel like the center has more responsibility in football than the other lines.
Yeah, I mean,
because of the way, like, the quarterback likes the ball, and, like, you got to snap it this way and type shit. Like, Kelsey had problems with his quarterbacks.
You just can't group a line together like that. It just doesn't work because, you could have,
I just don't feel like teams will get better, though. There's no way to make teams better. And
you have to go out in free agency in the draft, and you have to do it. You have to make your line a priority, and that's what.
But that's the problem. There's jersey selling teams, like I mentioned, and there's teams that want to win that will still win, and there's teams that are out there that are going to draft Manning.
Yeah, but you're going to see it. It's all going to come out.
Manning's going to go to every good quarterback goes to the shithole NFL team, and they get fucking beat. Browns. All the time. Manning's going to go to the Browns. They're going to sell millions of jerseys, make their nut 10 times off Manning, and he's going to fucking die to 50 sacks every season and not do anything. And I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's fair, and that's why I think the NIL helps. Like, I'm not going to that fucking.
So you're telling them to pull the Marino aspect and be like, I'm not going there. Just hold out.
Well, Rodgers did the same thing. There's a lot of Eli Manning did the same thing. There's a lot of quarterbacks.
Rodgers didn't do anything. What are you talking about?
Like that didn't. Well, I know Eli. He got drafted, and he's like, I'm not going to that team.
Yeah, he got drafted to the Chargers.
Yeah, didn't Rodgers do the same thing?
No, he wanted to go to San Fran. San Fran passed.
Oh, that's where he
fell
got
to the Packers.
Well, so did Tom Brady. Like, San Fran can't draft a quarterback.
He doesn't count. He was the last fucking pick.
Like, San Fran made their nut on a quarterback, and they're still trying to do that.
We're talking first rounders here, okay?
Yeah, that's fair.
I just think that, part of the problem is these teams that are in the bottom that get the first round pick or the first overall pick.
Like, have a lottery.
They think that, like, oh, we're going to draft this quarterback and they're going to fix all the other holes, and then they don't prioritize their other needs, and then the development just goes by the wayside. That, and as a fan base and as an organization, you can't say this guy has to be exquisite year one or he's a bust, right? And that's what happens is like you go back and you look at like Tom Brady's first actual year. You look at, Peyton Manning's. Their first years were not that great, right? So I think honestly,
Tom Brady went to the Super Bowl and won it his first year.
Yeah, but his stats weren't fantastic.
Well, he had that killer defense.
But
his first year coming in, or his first year as an actual starter?
Just playing, because I don't know what you're talking. Like first year, I thought first year playing. So like when Patrick Mahomes played, he was second year coming in.
Yeah, so
but I still that's his first year playing.
A lot of these guys, like a lot of these first round overall picks, they are thrown in and they are starters week one and they're expected to perform.
Yeah, it's hard.
And a lot of those guys don't. I think the only quarterback that I can think of in recent history that actually had a good, solid first year was the Houston guy. He had a great C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
His first year was pretty good.
He took it, like, they came out of nowhere.
Like his second year was kind of slumped. He sophomore slumped it. But you can't expect these guys to come in. And Tom Brady had he had like this, I don't know, podcast or this talk that he did, and it was actually really good. And when he talked about it, and he's like, part of the problem now with NIL and all this new stuff is that he's like, when I went to Michigan, my first year, I did nothing. I learned. He's like, every year was a different piece of development in like my overall game. So by the time I was a senior, I had gone through all phases of the development so that I was ready to work on every aspect of the game, right? And he's like, and a lot of these guys, they come out here for 1 or 2 years and they might switch teams, and they're not about development. They're about quick stats and flash. And so, and he summed it up much more eloquently and better. But in the end, like, they're missing a lot of these quarterbacks that come out of college now don't have the development because they haven't been through a 4-year or 5 years of a program. And so that's kind of what a lot of these quarterbacks are lacking. So when you see them struggle in the pros, it's like, oh, they can't make these reads. Well, because they weren't developed like that in college now, because they went from Texas to Georgia to Alabama, because it's like, oh, I'm going to get $1 million more there. Cool. Okay, so...
Yeah, the concept, or maybe they don't even have the receivers, so we're just dumping off passes, and like now we want you to run around and go get us yards, and then they get to a team that just wants to stretch the field the whole time, and
so it makes it different. So I think like when you talk about all these different things from NIL to sports to different things, it's changed the game, and there's some good. Like for the players, it's good because now, where if they don't actually make it in the NFL, well, they might have made enough in college to change their life forever, and now they can have that. And I was always a proponent of college athletes should get paid because these universities and these programs are making billions of dollars off of them, so they should be rewarded more than just a free education.
It doesn't have to be millions. So
it doesn't have to be millions, but like
a couple thousand here and there.
They should be rewarded for.
It's called scholarship
for their work, right? Like,
well, that's what I was saying earlier. Was like you don't need to give these guys millions and millions and millions this year, like, or if you do, that's fine, but it needs to be structured where like maybe it's like an allowance, it's showing them how to manage money. And so it's like every week we're going to give you $1,000. We know you're struggling, but hey, here's an extra $1,000 out of your $2 million. And as long as you're in school at this, we'll give you $1,000 every week. So you can go out and get food. You can go buy a pair of kicks. You can, you know what I mean? I think you actually have the time. And then when you graduate, you're like, all right, I put in my 4 years. I have $1.25 million left.
Yeah.
Here's your education. Here's your cash. Go be out there and make something of yourself.
It's like it's almost set up and structured as like a trust fund. Like, here's your fund.
Right.
Funds are received when you're done.
Yeah. Well,
you get part of it, but you can't take the whole lump.
Yeah. Instead of these kids showing up, never driving before, don't even have a license, they go and buy a Lambo, and then you see them wrapping around a fucking pole.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, well, there's your $2 million that's done. Now the athlete's gone. The education now has to get paid more from somebody else that they weren't on scholarship yet.
Yeah.
Just all that shit. They need to structure it in a better way, and I think if they do, then nobody would really piss over this NIL shit. And the transfer portal crap.
Well, I think because there are non-athletic parents that have kids going to school that are not getting financially.
Yeah, but fuck
compensated.
them, dude. That's part of the game. Some people play sports. Some people make money off of video games. You know, it is what it is. Like, you can't just.
Well, I mean,
that's unfair. And then he becomes a
college,
fucking doctor and saves that kid.
First of all,
come on.
college should be a platform for learning, not for sports. Like, sports is just secondary. Like,
Sports is secondary, but college.
And I get it. Like, college brings in a lot of money, or the sports brings in a lot of money. But like, there are kids out there that are trying to research how to save your natural dumbass mouth breathing.
Well,
sports
then get
fan
smart
life.
enough and go to Harvard and
pay
get
for
on the
that
fucking
kid.
rowing team and call it good.
The kid that's learning the science is going to do more for humanity than the kid playing football.
Potentially, but that's not always true. You could have a banger of a student who's also getting paid to play. So now,
and like Antrell Roll, he was a
Exactly.
Rhodes Scholar. He's like a neurosurgeon now.
or that lineman who's
Fair
super
enough.
smart. I can't think of his name.
Okay, that's okay. That's a horrible example to give, but sure.
But
The thing is, like, I'll always be against it. Like, I don't care. Like, you take the risk to go play sports in college. That's your risk. The same risk I take out student loans to go and earn my degree and do the shit I want to do is the same risk. Nobody's backing me. I'm sorry if you get your knee capped and you lose your shit.
The different.
Easy.
I don't give a fuck
Easy
about
on the
athletes.
knees.
I don't give a shit about athletes and sports and shit. You're just out there farming the system to make like gambles. But
the difference is in what you're saying versus the other side is you as a student going through with your student loans and getting your degree, you are making the university pennies. Little Timmy, that's a star running back for the team, is making that university millions and millions of dollars. So all of those facilities, all of these halls, all of these...
No, it depends.
Your science department, you fucking nerd.
No, it depends. Like, it depends on, like, if you're looking at what school I want to go to for sports, yes. But if you're looking at what school I want to go to for chemistry, like, maybe it matters more. And if you win the Nobel Prize for said school,
I know some athletes that went to Wisconsin. Come on.
Why is Harvard so shitty at sports, but everybody wants to go there?
Well, what sport?
They're horrible at every fucking sport.
I think they're pretty good at, like, crew.
But I
and
think
shit
if
like that.
Harvard
I can row like a motherfucker.
If Harvard wanted to, they could be like, every fucking athlete that wants to come here can try out for free and we'll pay you full ride. You can come graduate.
they
from
have
It's
Harvard.
that
because they know they don't want those mouth breathers just taking up the science lab the whole time. Let them get out there.
You don't
and
even
get
have
some
to go.
goddamn
You
shit
don't even
done.
have to go to class like the rest of them. Like, none of them go to class and shit. If it is like, I gotta go play football or whatever. It's like, yeah, we get it. It's a big money organization. We know why you're here because it's the next step. Because legally you have to be here to go to the next thing. That's why people get upset. And as like most parents get upset, or anybody is like, why does he get a free ride and paid?
Let me phrase it this way then.
Like, why is he? Because he throws a football? Like,
But
who
think
gives
about
a
this.
fuck
All right,
about
so
that?
with exactly what you're saying, these athletes
I want
go
the guy
into a
that's going to
college-
cure my nut cancer. Where's he at?
There's
right?
no money
So
in the
with-
cure, so
with
it's
not
never
getting-
gonna
Yeah.
happen.
If you break it down this way, so these kids go to college to get to play sports to potentially get the job to make money, right? Same concept that the nerds go to become a nut cancer doctor. They go to this school to hopefully get picked up by a place to get paid. Now, imagine if more than likely all those hospitals that are going to go after those kids are probably privately funded in their private practices. So what's stopping those doctors and their sponsors, Big Pharma, to come down and go, you know what? We're going to go ahead and
We're going to
recruit
sign you
this
to a
kid.
college deal,
exactly.
bro. You get that nut cancer NIL money, bro.
They already-
You
they
get
So
already-
how come
they
I
already do
can
that.
figure this
They
shit?
already do
So
that.
they're already doing it. You're just not hearing about it as much because there's probably only 30 of those nut cancer guys compared to 300 across the fucking thing.
Yeah,
You
the
know what I
football
mean?
shit's the Roman
It's
Coliseum.
the same fucking thing.
Yeah, I get you.
You know?
I get you. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
Fair enough.
I just think it's depends on where you put yourself in the game. You know, you want to be the top tier to get that.
Let's just
to
say
get
there's
that money,
more
then
there's
become the
more
top tier.
athletic people out there than intellectual people. Let's put it that way. Your kid's dumb.
Well, that could just be perception. We just see more because we're watching sports. We're not.
You're
when's
not
the last
watching
time
the
you watched
spelling bee on
exactly?
on
When's the last
fucking
time you
ESPN?
watched a fucking debate? A college debate team. You know,
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I've been.
I think that's called the master
Have you been
debaters.
more upset about?
I'm in the Masters division.
Have you been more upset about something about somebody that can beat you physically or intellectually? What
Depends on the beatdown.
Doesn't matter. Equally. Like, which one gets you more upset?
No,
Like,
because
do you
it ain't
wanna be
happening to this
smarter than
guy.
somebody? I just want to know, like, have you ever thought, like, oh, I got to be smarter than that motherfucker? Like, blah, blah, blah. Or, like, I got to be physically better. Like, nah, he can be better than me. Like, do you watch football and be like, I can do that?
I'm humble, dude.
I know you are. God, it's hard to say, but it's like that's the thing. Is like I feel like 9 times out of 10 more people want to be more right than more physically gifted.
In this woke environment these days
Yeah,
on
they
social
wanna be
media, for
like
sure. Until
100%.
that guy who is stronger and smarter shows up at their house and then beats their ass.
And you
So,
see,
I mean,
I don't want to go down this road, but you see it in politics too a lot. Like you're just like, I want to be right because I'm right, and it's like, stop being right. Just like look at your life and like, what do you want to be? Like, look what's happening. How'd you get here? What happened? Who put you here? Why do you want to be here? Kind of thing.
my dad's seed.
But I want to go like sticking on the sports topic, and it's like the American pastime season with baseball. I was looking up at rules because I was curious because I don't know a lot about MLB. But do you guys know? And I already know it, so I'm just putting you guys on the spot. I'm sorry, but do you guys know how far the outfield has to be from left line, right line?
From left field to right field?
No, just like how far, like if you're going down the left line from third base all the way to the post, like how far it has to be, and then the same with first base all the way down.
Well, all the stadiums are all different.
I know. That's why that's what I'm alluding to.
Some of them are like 500 feet. Some of them are like 320.
Exactly. So
like you're saying,
I don't know I don't know what the minimum.
MLB
yeah.
minimum
So the
is?
minimum. Yeah. Do you know what the minimum is for each post?
300?
It's probably like 325 or 350.
Yeah. So 325 is the minimum. So I looked at
Guy over here shopping us. I don't fucking know, but it's probably 325.
I looked at Yankee Stadium and I was like, why? And I was asking my AIs like, why can Yankee Stadium be 309? And they're like, well, they're grandfathered in. I was like, you motherfuckers. All right. That's why people hate us. But as I was reading it, ChatGPT was saying like, this is what makes baseball unique is because the outfield has no limit. So you build your outfield based on how you want to draft and do all this shit and how you want to set up your pitchers and all this, your defense. And I was like, holy shit. So it was like the outfield matters like more than I
Yes,
knew
there's
it
a lot more that goes into
Yeah.
a game than you just watch dumb kids hit sticks with balls or balls with sticks.
So I didn't ask the AI yet how to build the perfect outfield, but I was questioning you guys. I wanted to bring that question. Like,
Well,
how
if
would
it's
you
the 90s and you're all juiced out, it really doesn't matter.
like, I mean, to like today, like, how would you build the best outfield? Like, let's say there's 50,
I would just extend my infield to 300 feet.
50. So you have to, the infield has to be 90 is what it said by the rules.
Minimum or maximum?
Like, that's the rule, 90 feet. But I was
90
curious.
feet base paths, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 90 feet.
Yeah.
So
So
and the pitcher's mound is what, 60 feet, 6 inches?
63 feet, I think. Something weird.
Are you calculating for elevation?
Because the height, I think, makes it out to like 65. I think because of the height or whatever. But I was just curious, like
Ask him.
if we had all the money in the world and half, there was lefties, righties out there. Like, how would you build your baseball field? I was like, that's kind of cool. I didn't even think about it. I was curious, like, why do they build it this way? Seems dumb.
I would have yard beers for cheap. I'd start with that.
If you hit this sign, you get a fucking free taco.
I do it like Arizona. They have like a swimming pool and shit in their outfield. It's awesome.
I'd fucking have like a loop come in. Have my
Did you
center
see
field.
what stadium gets the most homers?
Besides Yankee Stadium?
Yeah. And it makes sense once you know it.
San Francisco, maybe?
Is that high elevation?
Colorado.
Yeah.
The Rockies.
yeah.
Because they're a mile
They're
high.
the longest stadium.
So that shit just sails out there. There's just tons of homers happening there.
So that
because
would be a
it's
question then. Is their outfield 500 fucking feet?
It's 425 feet is their stadium.
You pull that out pretty fucking specifically.
Yeah,
I
dude.
don't think you.
Because
check
I already
that.
asked it. I was like, what's the longest? Colorado? That makes sense, though.
Oh, so that is true.
Yeah.
Oh, I
It's
thought you
something
were just
like
making
420.
Okay. I was just making shit up.
But it used to go off back in the day. It used to go off a city block because, like, they were like, if you want to build a baseball stadium, it has to fit a certain city block. So you
Well,
have to-
see,
that's why like Boston, the Garden looks like a shithole where they had the green monster because the block was like, that's how the block went. You got to build it like this. I was like, wow, it's kind of interesting.
I would want to know if outfielders.
No wonder you want all them ships, Yankees.
If the outfielders in Colorado get paid more, or they average a higher salary because they're covering more ground. So what you're drafting there would have to make sense, right? Because I mean that's an extra 120 feet. You said.
Well, you don't have to draft. You don't. Well, technically, you don't have to draft pitching or outfielding. That's why the stadium is built that way. It's longer, and you just hope that.
Yeah, but if you got slow ass molasses out there in left field trying to track down balls with no cannon, you know.
Well, it's floating, right? Like there's less air, so it's like you have more time to get under it.
Yeah, it's like an alien saucer.
They're playing with those Nerf glow balls.
I don't know what Pittsburgh's problem is.
Okay.
No ships. That's what.
I actually came prepared today.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. This was kind of for you.
Oh.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm sure you heard the news. Iceman took his final flight.
I did, dude. Sad stuff, dude.
So that made me kind of think about the original tattoo you were thinking about getting way back in the day.
The Salton Sea.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Mr. Kilmer's was in a movie called The Salton Sea. He played like a violinist.
It was weird. It was a weird movie.
Or a some kind of fucking musical instrument. And anyways, he had this tattoo on his back. It was like
a Grim Reaper.
No, it was the tree, wasn't it? Wasn't it like the...
No, it was like the Grim Reaper, and he was like, the Salton Sea, like the movie thing has that, but the dude had like the Grim Reaper and the hood, and it was creepy as shit looking.
So, in my mind, that's what sent Eric down his tattoo adventure, was that movie, because he always told us he was going to get that fucking tattoo, and then the Kilms fucking ate it.
Yeah.
So then that led me on to thinking about, like, what was his best movies, and obviously Batman was shit.
Kind of funny though.
Yeah.
Just need some money. But they had a good cast.
It
Jim
did have a
Carrey,
great cast.
Tommy Lee Jones.
It's just a terrible movie, but
Which Tommy Lee Jones hated Jim Carrey. But yeah, it was a great cast. Like that was a great
he was in Willow, right?
yeah.
Kilmer?
Yeah, I think he was in Willow.
Mad Mardigan.
Yeah. Great show.
See, look at all these fucking...
Tombstone. I think that's probably his most iconic one. Was
Doc
Tombstone.
Holliday, yeah. I have to go to what I watch all the time is Ghost in the Darkness. That's my favorite.
Oh,
one.
that's a good one.
That's my favorite one with him, by far.
Wasn't that an anime? Oh,
No,
no, that's the one about the lion, right?
He's a lion.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
a
yeah.
lion guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a bridge builder, but yeah.
And then that...
It's a true story. Those lions are in the museum in Chicago. You can go see them.
He was hunting them in Chicago?
I don't know if Chicago was around at that time, but yeah. It was close to it.
Okay. And then that led me...
How did the Americans get the lions, though? That's all I want to know.
You'd have to ask Spencer Dutton.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. He's still on his long trek home. Fucking Jesus.
Fucking... What do they say? Catch him by a toe?
Yeah, dude.
But that led me down one of these was... thinking how to put this in terms for us because it makes more sense. I came up with a question. And this is for all you guys / the two that are here. Was would you rather be Batman, okay, but a poor shitty Batman driving like a 1985's Honda, right, and all your stuff fucking like doesn't work correctly? You know, you go to throw your batarang and it's only got one side, so it really doesn't even fly in a circle. You know, your gun you shoot, you think it wraps around, you go to take off and the cord rips out of it. Like, just not, you know, you're living in a trailer by yourself, decrepit, like, but you get the call,
So
you see
ghetto,
the signal.
Ghetto Batman.
Yeah, just white trash Batman.
Trailer Park Batman.
No money Batman.
Batman with no money, exactly. Okay.
Okay.
No. Or you're Spider-Man, but the only way that you can zip around and saving everybody is you got to shoot webs out of your ass. Right? So everyone sees you like, oh, there's Spider-Man again. And then, you know, you're I'll help you. And, you know, the lady's, no, I'm good. I got mace. No, I'll get you. And he's got to rip it down his pants and shoot a web at him. Okay. Or.
There's another one?
Well, yeah, you got to pick one of the three.
Is it a woman I can transition to?
Well, I mean, that is Batman. We've talked about this.
I mean.
Bruce Wayne, Bruce Jenner.
I just want to know now.
Or.
Is it Wonder Woman?
You're Superman.
Uh-oh.
Slightly out of shape, thinning hair, and you're wearing your Speedos, and as you're flying around, you have a micro penis, and everyone for the world gets to see it because it's so your suit's so sucked in tight, you know, so you can't get away from it. So it's one of the three superheroes. Micro penis on show, your money on show, or just ass man.
Well,
Do you want me to take this, or do you want to go? You got it?
it's
Go.
a toss-up. I think it's a toss-up between Batman, because who gives a shit? You don't have to do anything anyways. You can just fucking live in your trailer and be
Nobody knows you're
sufficient,
Batman.
right? Whatever.
Some dumbass dressing up like there's probably people like that now.
Oh, look at this idiot pretending he's Batman,
He's on
right?
meth.
Yeah. Or Superman, because who cares, dude? If you got a micro penis, you're going so fast it doesn't matter anyways, dude. So you're doing your thing, dude.
I see what you did there. You took away all their superpowers and made them weak. Money for Batman, big penis for Superman.
But did he have a big wanger?
We
never saw it.
I would assume it's Superman. Like, you can't follow that. Like Lois Lane, like nobody's like soon as she's done.
But he can't.
Soon as you go to the bar and you're like on a Tinder date.
Superman can't do it though, because if he nuts, dude, it's going so fast it's gonna blow holes through it, dude.
It's like the ISIS spaceship when little rocks come by through and little meteorites.
Yeah, dude. Can he control his? Nah, maybe
I don't know, dude.
Can you control it? I mean, if you can't control it, what makes you think he can control it?
I would have to go with Superman with the micro penis.
You think?
Yeah, I'd just buy a big souped up.
Every time you go to fight some villain, he's just like, dude, I can't take you serious.
I wouldn't
It's
fly.
like, seriously, like, can you just wear different pants? Can you just put different pants on?
I wouldn't fly anymore. I would just
Button on a fur coat.
I would just buy a souped up Toyota Tundra and join ToyotaTundras.com Facebook and that's it. Like, yeah.
No one's even messing with Spider-Man. Huh? No, everyone's just like, no, we're good.
Yeah.
Nobody
wants it.
I don't need my webs and my ass hair getting all entangled out there for the world to see, dude. No.
But you could be Spider-Man
means
and just never save anybody.
I would have to shave my ass because he's right. The webs would just splinter through my pubic hair on my ass and just go everywhere, and then there would be shit particles. It wouldn't be good.
Not a good look.
And how would I save people?
Well, that's the thing. You have to constantly be like, okay, hold on. Let me back. All right, you good?
My aim's not that good in the front. It's not even that good in the back. Like, oh, fuck. And then how do I shit?
Yeah, dude, you just
one of
shitting
those-
webs and all sorts of weird stuff.
It's one of the top 3 things I like doing is shitting. It's gonna like capture my shit and come back up and trampoline that shit back in my ass.
What happened to be like your Disney story? You'd go down and take a poop, and the web would cover the
Which
toilet
would have
bowl,
been
and then you
nice.
poop all over yourself.
That's the only reason. Yes. Can Spider-Man pass out drunk and shit himself?
It just collects it in a little
Just
cocoon.
collects it.
You just pick the cocoon up the next day and just throw it away.
It's just hanging on the wall.
Your wife's like, Joe, again? Get those off the wall.
Use that as a speed bag.
I'm cross-training.
Yeah, I'd have to go with Spider-Man with the micro penis.
Spider-Man with a micro penis.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Kids. Okay. And then that led me into thinking, not a big proprietor of like April Fool's Days, but
How are you not?
because I do it every day besides April Fool's.
I was gonna say,
you know?
okay.
And, like that's the day I take off. You know what I mean?
That's your reprieve
yeah.
from tomfoolery?
Yeah, it's my Lent.
Okay.
Have you guys ever had a good April Fool's that you've done to anybody?
No.
No, not at all.
No.
You know, I mean, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I mean, I know over the course of time I've probably got somebody super good, but nothing that I'm like, oh man, that one was epic.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, I don't remember ever doing something on that like specific day
I
compared to the other 364 days I usually fuck around.
I think you're on that right path. Like I fuck around so much and I do so much stupid shit that I can't think of one like, oh man, that was on April Fool's. Like,
Right.
I just don't plan for it. Like the May 4th shit that's coming around the corner.
oh
Like,
god,
I hate all Star Wars people.
shut your pie hole.
It's all right though.
May
But
the-
yeah, I can't think of it because
May
I
the
don't, I
4th
just-
be with you, dude.
I forgot it was 4-1, and I always go on. They always get me on the fucking social webs. Like Dak went to the Steelers. The fuck he did? It's like, goddamn motherfucker! Fucking April Fool's shit. Like yeah, so like all those dumb cunts out
Well,
there.
that's the
do
first thing on social media. You know, every post is just rigged.
Fake.
Yeah, it's like there's no way around this.
That's like your one day you don't look at the socials.
Yeah.
that. Stay off there. Well,
But then you
to
see
be-
it the next
to
day
be
and you're
fair-
like, oh shit.
To be
Val
fair,
Kilmer is dead.
to be fair, yeah, I had to ask a friend. I was like, did Val Kilmer really die? This is on April Fool's. So like, the motherfucker. How gross is that, you motherfuckers, but hilarious at the same time. Yeah, he died. April Fool's. Perfect.
Okay, yeah, that's all I had. nothing thick, if you will.
I saw this challenge going around on the internet, which I think is the greatest challenge ever. for dudes that are in a relationship.
How many people get it in my ass?
No, it's called the minute challenge. You have your woman, and what you do, right? She has to hip thrust like you. It's a sexual challenge. So,
What if you're with a dude?
well,
He's gonna win, or you're gonna win.
it
One of
only
the
matters.
two.
It has to be with a woman. Sorry. So what you do is the challenge is for the woman if she can last a minute, and what you make her do is like she has to do all the hip thrusts in different areas how you would hip thrust, and then you give her supersets at the same time. So you clock it for a minute, and then all of a sudden you just be like, all right, just go like a hip thrust, like on my beat, like click, click, click. All right, now superset, go, 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 go. You gotta pump that shit, pump that shit, pump that shit. Give me 10 more seconds, pump that shit, and I guarantee you, like they won't last a minute, and then they can stop complaining why we don't last longer than a minute.
Well, let's just be
it's a
real.
lot
Let's
of
just be
work.
real. Most dudes don't last more than a minute because they can't hold their jizz, not because they don't have the stamina.
I'm tired. I want to get over it with it. I pull out and jerk off like at the same time. Like,
Not as easy as you thought it was.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. That's why I need
You got your heart rate watch on. It's beeping at you like you're having a heart attack. Oh shit! I'm dying.
Cardiac arrest.
I'm
Yeah.
dying.
I just thought it was like, yeah, that's a fair challenge, women. You do it.
Well, did you do it or what?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I haven't had her do it yet, but I will.
He's gonna say that, and then you're gonna see a little peg machine come out and be like, "Okay, we're really gonna do this for real."
She's like 10 minutes deep. Like, what's wrong? What's wrong with you?
I don't even need a break yet, pussy.
Why are you more of a man than me?
No, that's the only challenge I would do going on right now online. Just the minute challenge.
I hate the challenges that go on.
I know.
Like it
that's-
drives me nuts.
That's
dude.
all my feed is challenges.
Like you get people
NBA, and-
slapping each other in the face with tortillas and stupid shit like that, or like putting cinnamon in their mouth or drinking Sprites. I'm like, God, what the fuck? That's why I hate TikTok. I've never had it. I couldn't do it because
Well, it's on
always these
YouTube and
challenges.
everything else.
Good God, dude.
Let me bring back a little snake Kwando. Let's see how many people can handle that shit.
The snake Kwando. Not many, dude.
No.
Not many would be able to
It's a
hang
forgotten
with with the sacred art of snake Kwando, dude.
Right? Where you think you're going? There's people out there.
Yeah. There's children out there.
He doesn't care. He likes the numbers.
The
It's a numbers game.
The P Diddler over there. The old P Diddler.
Speaking of that, dude, he's going away.
You know what, dude? Like I'm happy we're in, that the presidential election went the way it did and we're in number 47. But God damn it, I want some Epstein people. I want some I want to know. I know they released the JFK files, but I don't want a million pages. I just want to
Just tell us what happened. Synopsis.
Bobby Juan Cardasio did it,
Yeah.
with his little green man.
Agreed.
And then I want to see some P Diddler stuff. And then I want to see all these senators and congressmen that are multimillionaires now on a $200,000 salary. I want to know how.
Yeah, well, that's one thing that the boy Elon's looking into right now.
Dude, let's get it, dude.
Yeah.
Let's get it. Dude, I'm not going to lie to you. I was never
Better
like,
not.
I was like, I'd never buy a Tesla. I kind of like Elon now, and I would buy one now because I think he's a true red, dude, and I like him.
I think he's just crazy enough to do everything. You
I
know what I
know,
mean?
dude,
Like
yeah.
that's kind of the thing. Yeah, shake it up, baby. Let's see what happens. Let's get rid of
Like
this bullshit.
I saw Teslas like a Democrat driving a fucking Prius. Like that's what I saw Teslas as.
Fair point.
And now I'm like, now I see all these people freaking out and trying to scratch them and burn the dealerships down. And I'm like, all right, dude, you've converted me over to I would drive a Tesla
Well, the funny
and not
thing
feel like a doucher.
Is the people that are scratching and burning them down are all the people on the left.
I know, dude,
This
it's
is
fucking
you
great.
wanted to go green. Here's the guy giving you to go green, and now you're saying we have a problem with it because it's Elon, and now you're trying to burn him down.
Oh,
it's like,
dude,
what
I
the
just
fuck
love
are you guys
it, dude.
doing?
Just fucking La La Land. Dude.
Yeah.
It's just like, what clown world do you live in? Because it must be pretty darn good, dude. It's like
maybe you guys are smoking over there. Bring it over here.
Dude, good God, dude. I mean, it's way worse than the devil's lettuce. I don't know what they got, dude, but it's pretty damn good, dude. It's
That's
just like,
Afghan isotopes that they're bringing over and putting in those Teslas.
Jesus, dude, exactly.
Yeah, that's some crazy stuff. Feel better?
Oh my God! Thank God.
Yeah. You did he did the Vesser, dude. He did the bleed the weasel. Do you remember that? We'd be I gotta go bleed the weasel. Like, what the fuck, dude? I remember the first time I heard that, I was like, that sounds really disturbing. Like,
Well, the funny thing is when he goes outside to piss, he actually sits down.
oh,
Yeah.
It's true.
nice, dude. You just got the squatty potty, huh? Yeah. Dude, nice, dude.
Gotta
Classic
get that-
move,
Gotta
dude.
get that leverage going.
Nice.
Kinda hard sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you have like a little 5-gallon bucket out there?
No, he looks like a kid in a sand trap, you know, like playing. Like he puts
Oh.
his balls right in the sand, he pees, and then he just, like a cat, buries up his balls, lets the actual
Fill it up.
sand dry it off.
Fill
and
it
then
up
he
a little
stands
bit.
up.
I thought he had like one of those ones that's like it's like a little bucket with like the little fish that eat the dead skin, and he just like ploops the balls in. And
Oh, right, yeah.
You know, just
Yeah,
they're
he-
just
he
they're
gets
just
a little
numb-numbing.
exfoliated
They're just
at the same time he's
they're
taking
just-
a pee-pees.
They're just numbing on the nuts, you know, just like
Hey,
gotta love it, dude.
sometimes you gotta sit down to pee. It's a long pee. My back can't take it.
You know what I can't get over, and it's still
I
going
need a penis
on,
reduction.
is that people are still saying, like, I still see this all the time, that Angel Reese is better than Caitlin Clark in women's basketball. Like, it's
For
still
a second, I was seeing Caitlyn Jenner at it. I'm like, what?
It still
Like,
is blowing my mind. Like, I watch like people like troll Angel Reese online all the time about how bad she is, and they're showing like all of her pathetic stats and how she misses. You know, she's like 5 for 27 and misses layups, and like, but she's a rebounding machine. And then they're just like trash talking, and I'm just like, man, dude, why is this debate still going on? Like,
honestly, you lost me at women's basketball.
I don't watch it much, but I will say Caitlin Clark, like she's gonna be that game changing generational type of player. Like,
Why? Because she's white?
no, because she's good, right? And then like you look at they did a thing, you know, with the stats. Every game that she was in, there was over 1 million people in viewership. Every other game was like
We got that in our YouTube videos.
I understand that. But then every other game was less than half of that. So you look at the like what she does, what she brings to the table, because people are like all these WNBAs are saying we're going to strike if we don't get paid like the men do.
God.
It's like, oh, cool. Well, your league has lost money every year of its existence, so you don't get to be paid.
Joe and I were talking about that, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago or so, and it's sad because the people that are holding that sport down are the female participants, but viewers and people that are structured in that, because they're not getting enough love. And for them to come back and be like,
Yeah, I can't.
we need to make as much money as the
I
men.
can't relate to WNBA because I could go play in the WNBA. Look at me, like, look at me. That's why we don't watch the WNBA. We watch the top of the top, and unfortunately, women get over it. Men are better physically at everything that you will ever try to be. You're just built different. You're built to give kids and shit, and take a dick. That's all you're built for. Like, I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
You're what you want to do. What you want to do is, if you're hot, get on Instagram and show your titties and ass. You got that? I can't get on Instagram right now and show my titties and ass.
Well, you might be able to.
And I fucking flunked out of basketball, so here I am. The world ain't fair. Okay, that's all that matters, people. It's not fair, and the problem is the reason why WNBA isn't popular is because women don't watch sports.
We already gave them the right to vote. We're not going to give them the right to make any goddamn money.
I mean,
That's pretty much what Joe's saying.
nobody wants to watch it, and now you get somebody that actually is scoring points. It's not 30-30 anymore, and we're like, hey, it's like, whoa, the score is actually 100-30 right now. What the fuck's going on? And then the big deal is because Caitlin Clark hit at the right time. She's white. It's kind of ironic. She's the new Jackie Robinson, in my opinion. She's making all this money. She's white, making all this money. It's kind of racist for people. Like, she's growing your fucking brand. If you fucking mouth breathers would stop it. The reason that you're not getting contracts is because there's no money to give you contracts to. It's not because you're black. It's because there's no money involved. But now that there's money involved, she deserves it. Same thing with Michael Jordan. What if Michael Jordan was white?
Yeah, I think they said.
Can you imagine a white Michael Jordan just coming flying, putting white nuts in your face?
I think that
He'd be
Caitlin-
racist and kicked out of the league.
He would at least dye him and get him little Alma Rokas
It'd be
down there. You know
over.
what I mean? Just
I
to
think
help.
I think they said her contract for last year was $76,000.
I'll give you this. She made it because
For the league?
That's what her WNBA salary is.
I was watching.
I mean, she made
I was
$500
watching,
more than me, so good for her.
I was watching.
And I'm not playing a sport.
I was DD last night for a birthday party, and I was watching the baseball game, and it was the first time I ever saw a a female basketball player in a commercial ever, besides being in the Olympics. And it was her with some, I don't know, Gatorade thing. I was like, there you go. The brand's growing. Do what like Charles Barkley did. Do what fucking all the other people
But
did.
do you know what her
Follow
Nike
her fucking
contract
thing.
was? 10 milli.
Yeah. She's bringing men into the
Yeah, so
sports.
that's the thing is like, are you talking about the sport making money? Or are you talking
Oh,
about
they're talking about
the individual?
They're talking about their contracts as a whole being like towards what like an NBA league minimum is, right? Like that's what they think that they deserve.
She could play in the NBA.
No.
I'll give her that.
No, she couldn't.
Nah, she couldn't.
She's good, but she couldn't. Like
I'd
she's
beat her up.
she's one of the greatest women basketball players, but like, you know, it just goes to show like it doesn't matter if your league doesn't generate the profit, you can't do that, right? Like you don't warrant that type of pay. You don't. You know, and it's the same thing when the US women's soccer did it, like equal pay. You don't generate the money. Like, yes, you girls are the best. Like, the women's U.S. soccer team is phenomenal, and they're awesome. But they don't, even when they won a World Cup, they didn't generate as much as when the men made it out of group play.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't even make as much as when they just made it out of group play.
I'm sorry.
And by the way, when we're saying this, I'm not saying that I wouldn't get demolished by girls basketball team, because I would.
Yeah.
And girls soccer team would kick my ass.
It comes down to
but
the
no
thing,
one's
like,
watching it.
Well,
unfortunately,
the thing is like we try to get away from it as men. We want to go watch like the shit that like we used to do, and we want contact and men shit. Like that's our break. You guys have your soap operas and the Kardashians that you put money into. Like, why are they so fucking famous?
I'm not against
and shit.
Because
of women.
Yeah, I'm not against women making tons of money, but I'm not.
They're just in the wrong sport.
I'm not for like you're not going to get paid to do something if it doesn't generate money.
Yeah,
like
there's
it's just not.
There's not a woman out there with big titties.
Just take our
and an
podcast
ass.
for a second.
There's not a woman out there with big titties and an ass that can't be an influencer on Instagram and get a contract right now.
Yeah, so it's like, cool.
Because
like,
everybody know pussy doesn't have a face.
Yeah,
like
and it's a dude.
Being
Still gonna finish this jerk though.
Like coaching,
Turn around.
coaching wrestling. I coach the girls a lot, and we have some absolute hammers, and they beat boys. They're middle schoolers, and they're hammering boys, right? And I watch them and coach them, and you know what? Some of these girls can go on to wrestle for the U.S. women's national team, and they'll make tons of fucking money doing that, wrestling at the the national level, and I love it. And you know what? Like, make the money where you can, but you can't say that like an athlete is going to be paid like their male counterpart if they're not bringing in the revenue. Like it's simple. It's simple
like,
math.
It's like
if you
Burger
don't
King trying to be like, we want to get paid like McDonald's. Well, you suck, Burger King.
Yeah, you can't just be paid because you play the same sport.
Agree.
Like,
it's
you
capitalism.
Can't. Yeah,
it's
it is. Like we're not just going to pay you money because you may be at the pinnacle, you're at the professional level. You make what you generate. And if you don't generate money, you don't make it.
I will say women's softball, though, yes.
Well, did you guys hear about this?
They should be paid.
They're actually putting together a women's hardball team.
I heard that.
Yeah. So there's going to be
or that lingerie
professional
football league.
Now, if they did lingerie baseball league, that'd be something.
There you go. The problem with females is like they know how to get men to do shit, but they don't know how to get men to watch and pay for shit. It's like, just put your titties and ass out there and play football.
The professionals do.
It'd be over.
The real professionals do.
Oh, we want to be like, yeah. Like, no, you don't. Shut up. So, I don't know. It's just hard facts. Jokes. It's truth. Truth. That's why it's funny, because it's true.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, good times.
I watched that lingerie football all the time. It was fucking, you saw titties getting knocked out.
Yeah, we had a local smoke show that used to play.
Yeah.
The Ripski.
What's wrong with that?
Yep.
It's the only reason
two,
It's the only reason I watch, like, same thing, like, okay, so, like, if I'm wrong, then why don't they, like, which is a good, I got a good, fuck this transition. Here we go.
You're
like, if I'm wrong, like,
congratulations.
Why do they cast?
You just noticed?
Why do only hot people get cast in Hollywood roles? Because people only want to watch hot people.
There's
I want
some good ugly people out there.
ugly people, unless you have to play that fugly, ugly
Well,
character.
let's be honest. Usually it's ugly men who get the part. But
There's some ugly women that get some hag roles.
Yeah, Amy Schumer.
we said actors. She doesn't count.
But the other latest thing I heard is like the reason like Snow White and I is getting so much shit lately, and I need to watch this.
It's
show.
garbage.
I haven't watched it yet. I'll only watch it if my kids want to watch it because I'm not going to be like try to watch it for ratings. But I did hear like
You can watch it for other reasons though.
yeah, Gal got it. Is like they didn't cast any dwarves. I was like, there have only been 2 dwarf actors that I've known, and it's the dude that plays Willow and fucking the guy in Lord of the Rings. That's it. Like, how many dwarves? They don't exist. Like, where are these dwarves that you're just
Under the rocks, dude.
You know how
just
hard
gotta pick up a rock and look, and they're hanging out
And
right there.
Do you know how
hey, buddy,
hard?
come with me. Come on, I got a job.
And it just says. It just says in the fairy tale she ran into some small people, not dwarves. Maybe it was dwarves, but Disney made them dwarves. Like, how are there 7 good dwarf actors out there? And how hard is it to be an actor?
Peter
like,
Dinklage played them all.
Yeah, he probably did.
It's like the new Charlie and Chocolate Factory. They have them all the
But
one
you can't
guy's
say
face.
you can't say dwarf. Like, why? Says who? They're fucking dwarves. They're small little people. Like, and now since you can't say dwarves, now people are upset. Like, there's no dwarves in the fucking film.
The reason that movie flopped so
yeah.
bad is because she made a political stance.
She said something about Palestine and shit like that.
Yeah, she made a big political stance, and you have to understand who is taking their children to watch these movies. Conservative Christian middle class people are the ones that are taking their children to the movies to watch it. So when you talk trash to your
Yeah, but the kids aren't reading the tweet.
I understand that, but the parents are, and they're the ones paying for it. So when you directly say something that is going to affect your audience, they're not going to go, and that's what happened. That's why the movie flopped. And Snow White is exactly that. She's white. They casted a mixed race person in that role, and that's the Disney effect, the DEI effect. Like, oh, we have to make this,
Which is hopefully all going away. I mean,
yeah,
slowly and
it's
surely.
It's like, okay, cool. Like, you want to do a remake, awesome. Don't call it fucking Snow White.
Yeah, call it Snow Brown.
Yeah, don't. But like,
it's kind of like a redundancy, right? Snow is white.
Well, it's the
Snow
same.
White,
It's the
white.
same fucking thing. Like, cool. If you want to make these movies, great.
You can't count
but
Mud
if
Brown.
if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna completely alter that, and then
Shit brown.
realistically, if the girl hadn't made the political statement, I think a lot more people would have went and been willing to watch it. But because she made the political statement, people are like, oh, fuck it. Nope, not watching it. I heard it was actually a shitty movie. Like, I heard it was really actually garbage.
Well, can we get away from fucking remakes all the time? Can we have some original content here?
Yeah, dude,
You
no
know,
shit.
like, I've seen it. I've seen the movie when I was a kid probably 1,000 times, you know?
The remakes aren't even, or like not the remakes, but the original ones like Moana and fucking whatever.
Yeah, what happens if they make Moana, but they make it with Snow White? You know, I mean, the actual, like, a white girl, you know? I'm like, no, we're just going to redo it. Like, up in arms, you know? And it'd be some trailer trash bitch sitting in her bathtub with a little rubber ducky, singing songs and the rocks over her, putting a nut in her face, and then it just makes sense. Let's go.
Maui's her dad, by the way.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
Maui fucked everybody.
I've been to the Big Island and the Small Island, if you know what I mean.
What that movie is about is father-daughter reconnection. Like, God damn it, you found me. No,
You got that wrong. That's not in my porn search.
Yeah, the chromies. That's what's in mine right now.
Dude, I told you.
Have you been getting this too?
What?
If he would listen to the last episode, he would know what we're talking.
it's
I'm
gonna
afraid
be
to bring it up because it's going to be on his phone.
It's going to be in your phone right now. You got to mute your phone. Throw your phone away right now.
Yeah, you don't want this in your
You
phone,
don't want
dude.
this.
It's all over.
I'm going to give you 5 seconds.
What do
5.
you mean?
We're getting. He brought up the Down syndromes, strippers, pornos coming up on his Instagram feed. Now they're in my feed because he just mentioned it. Now they're going to be in your feed. And what they do is they trick you.
Yeah.
Like they walk like from here to the tractor and they're like, would you do me? I'm like, I don't know. And then they get close and they're fucking downies. Like, no. But the hands off to the downies though. They figured out the algorithm. The longer you watch it, the more it's going to get spread. So you got to watch them come up and like, what I do? No.
Is that like, that's got to be illegal.
Why? Downies can't get laid? Are you going to make a law?
Can they not vote now, Eric?
I don't know. Can they?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, they're probably smarter than half the people. Got to see. I'm dying.
That's what happens.
Got to see my throat.
You're going downy.
Yeah, you gotta be smarter than half the people that voted, though. So we'll edit that out.
I don't know, dude, but yeah, they've just became, and it's like a text line, and like, I'm ready to go down. Are you? And it's like, what the fuck is this? And they all look alike.
People
What?
have no shame,
Dude. But the thing about it is like, you know,
The thing is, you don't see her trying to play soccer. and
my
make-
mind is telling me no. My body.
My body is telling me I'm downy.
It's like the new Downy commercial. The bear that comes out.
It's the same face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how you said
Jesus,
the same
dude.
person, different wig.
Oh fuck, dude.
You
No,
want
I
it
have-
soft and fluffy?
No, I've not seen that, but
Oh, you will.
You will now.
thanks for getting my phone infected.
Dude, it's a thing. It's crazy.
It's kind of cool how you can.
OnlyFans too. Like there ain't no shame in this
Have
game.
you seen a Downy foot? Oof.
Jesus, man. What the fuck?
Just kidding. Or am I? No, I'm just kidding.
This guy is on OnlyFans.
I
see
can
it?
tell by the toenails.
Do you see it up there?
Little splot.
No. They're writing. Rigoli 10F, dude. He's on OnlyFans. That's his OnlyFans handle.
Oh.
You sly dog, dude.
He's had it up there forever, just waiting for someone to kind of glance up. Okay. Well, I know you were making some money on some shit.
Nice, dude.
You gotta put yourself.
What do you
out
think
there.
bought that sweet jacket he's got on?
You just now notice it.
How do you even see that? Like, does that fuck with your color blindness? Like, does that even refract to your eyes?
Well, I see silver and black,
So it's just two solid colors.
So are you a Raiders fan now then if you're silver and black?
no. Well, I should be because I think Genty's gonna go there, so might as well. No, I'm an Atlanta Hawks fan, bro. Falcons.
I was like, Hawks. That's the basketball team.
Is it? Oh, yeah, Falcons. Atlanta
Falcon
Falcons.
Hawks.
Atlanta,
He mixed them together. He doesn't even know.
Basketball team. I know.
What state is it in, Joe?
Georgia.
South of Georgia porn.
It's
classic.
Yep.
It's classic, dude.
Great. Now that's really going to come up on your phone with the shit we were just talking
the
about.
South, dude, that was explaining that to people throughout my life. The South of Georgia porn, probably one of the funniest experiences ever. And they're like, "What the fuck is that?" I'm like, "Dude, it is crazy."
Good old South of Georgia porn.
Oh, dude, some great bus trips, dude.
The things that happened on those buses.
God, what were some of the fucking names we had for that dum-dum? Coco the monkey. There was some scientist we looked up in our biology book, and we started calling him that. We called him Brad Hossenberger. Like, we just had all these fucking names for that guy, dude. But I can remember he put on the Trojan costume in Mrs. Smith's class and was like sitting there, and the substitute's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he just didn't say a word, and he just sat there, and they were like, "Who is that? Who's in there?" And so we're just like, "Oh, that's Brad Hossenberger." And he's like, "There's no Brad Hossenberger on here." And then we were like saying all these fucking random names that we had for him. Stanley Milgram. Oh, it's Stanley Milgram. Oh, there's no Stanley Milgram on it, dude. Just freaking the fuck out. And then we got that dum-dum to just like stand up and walk out of the fucking room in the Trojan costume. And it was just like, oh my God, dude. The shit we could get that guy to do.
Oh, he would do anything. Anything.
Remember when we went down into the the little area down there by the river, and we got him to go skinny dipping in fucking January in the river and took his clothes and drove away. Or like one of the greatest things ever, I think, was stealing his bike, cleaning it, putting a bow on it, and then giving it to him for his birthday the next week. And he was like, "How did you guys know my bike got stolen?" We're like, "Oh, dude, we just thought we'd get you a new bike."
Dude,
for
the
your
best
birthday."
part was
He's like,
is
"This kind of looks like mine." We're like, "Oh, dude, really? That's cool."
he filed a police report about that
Oh.
and didn't even recognize his own bike when we gave it back to him.
It's like, oh,
How do you file a police? It's a bike. It's got two wheels and a chain. What color? Yeah.
Pedals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep, sure does. It's got a
says-
color to it.
It's
It
that
says
bike color.
Uffy.
Yeah.
It says Uffy on the side because the H got worn out.
Now
so
it was one of those sweet BMX red lines.
I read
It was
that shit in the dirt.
And you look at the seat and there's no seat there. There's just a bar that goes up and down with the pedals.
Oh, dude.
That's my ass bike. That's my
dude.
shit.
Those were some of the greatest fucking times.
It's funny, as I was just talking to Astro today about it. Remember when he showed up with his dad's bike? And it was like one of the last days of school. And so EC takes off and zips it around and then brings it back. And then I get on it. And I'm like, yeah, I went to go take it down the road. Go down the road, and I'm like, I'm hungry. So I stopped at my house, made a sandwich, fucking ate it. I'm gone for like an hour. I come back, and he's all worried. He's like, oh, I thought someone stole my bike. He's like, I thought someone stole the bike. Not worried that I've been gone for an hour, that maybe I crashed. That's probably more likely what happened. And I'm like, someone stole your bike? What do you think? That was at a stoplight, and they fucking hit me over the head with a hammer? And then, yeah.
Yeah, it was like a little Honda. It was a Honda Shadow or a Honda Rebel.
Yeah, one of the two.
It was like a road bike. What was it, like a 500 or a 650?
I don't even know if it was that big, was it?
Yeah.
It might have been.
It was a nice bike. It was super clean.
If it was his dad's, it was probably a 5.
Yeah.
Or bigger. It wouldn't have been 250. That's the one that Hoimo crashed, was the 250.
I wouldn't trust that guy on anything.
Oh, dude, we were talking about this too. So when he put his bike, he crashed his bike right in the corner of my house. And I watched the whole thing happen. Because I had 2 living rooms. I was doing something. Anyways, I saw him put it down. I just started laughing. And then he comes knocking on the door. He's got like little scrapes on his ankles and stuff. I was like, dude, I just put my bike down. I'm like, oh no, what happened? And he goes, oh, there was a car that was turning and it came into my lane and I couldn't get out of the way fast enough, so I had to put it down. And I'm like, the car that wasn't there? He's like, what? I'm like, there was no car there, dude. I watched the whole thing happen. He's like, well, it's just raining and the road was, instantly changes. I'm like, you've never been on a bike before. Fine. Everyone crashes. Not a problem. But don't lie about it.
Don't make up.
No, if you would have
The dog ran out in front of me.
Yeah. The mailman came across and said, mail, bitch, and hit me with a fucking parcel.
Delivering the milk.
Yeah. Oh, good old stories. Needless to say, he got rid of that bike that day and never been on one since.
That's good.
Yeah. It was priceless. Priceless. Oh, my God. All right, men. We're about an hour and a half in. How do you feel about it?
I feel good, dude. Yeah. We got definitely more than just the tip, so it was that full minute.
Good to be back. Well, you needed the hot seat, dude.
It was that full minute he was talking about over there,
He's been thrusting the whole time.
Some good thrusting for a full minute, dude.
Right.
Happens.
It happens.
It's got one more outro.
I gotta say, dude, look, just taking a glance, the beard's looking pretty good over there, dude.
Let's say same. Look at you.
Looking pretty good, dude. Yeah. Where's yours?
Don't look at me.
Don't look at me.
All right, ready for my outro?
Yeah, if you got something.
I got an outro.
You're gonna
Speaking
whip it
of
out?
motorcycles, I just want people to beware. Watch out, they're out there. So look twice for motorcycles. Look twice for motorcycles. Did you get that? See my thumbs?
Okay, Fonzie.
Was that it?
Yeah, that was it.
Let's try again.
Okay.
Remix.
Like all the way start over again?
Do something better. Be better.
No, it was better. You'll see it. Don't worry about it. It'll show
Don't
up.
worry
Most
about
people will
it.
see
Forget about it.
Do it again.
You want me to do it again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do something better. And go. Perfect.
Perfect. I have downy thumbs.
What? Say what? Go.
Oh, probably playing. Sorry.